Hey crafters, this is Nye. So today what we're going to do is we're going to assemble our basket of sunflowers layered paper craft. As you can see, I've got all of my pieces here. They are cut out and I have them stacked together. I'm going to be using my art glitter glue here for all of my gluing. I also have my tweezers here and a glue stick as well that I'm going to use to kind of help me to roll some of my flowers, because I want some of the flowers that are more up front to kind of stick out from the paper. I don't want to keep everything just flat. I'm going to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay. So as you can see, I've got everything here. I've got it stacked up and lined up in the order that I want for gluing. What I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to start here with my lettering. This one is very, very delicate, as you can see, and it's pretty tiny. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this glued down first, so that way I don't have to think about it at all anymore. So all I'm doing now and to start here is just adding a little bit of glue along the paper. And the reason why I'm adding a little bit here, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just kind of dabbing it down as it's coming out here, is because I don't want to go too crazy with this. And I've got my tweezers, and even though I'm using my fingers, I'm going to kind of flip it here and just try to be really gentle. I probably should use another set, but it's got the, all right, hold on, let me just put it down. Okay. And so for this one, you do just kind of want to be gentle and kind of take your time as you're placing it down. As always, when you're gluing with the art glitter glue, you've got maybe about 10 seconds before the glue sets, and then you're stuck with wherever it ended up. All right, and so this one here, I've got the inside part of the E still there, so I'm just going to kind of scrape it away. And there we go. So that way it shows through. All right. So I did that one first because I didn't want it to get lost on my table here. And it's also so delicate that I wanted to make sure that it didn't get broken or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these layers here of my sunflowers at the front. I'm going to put them off here because I'm going to work my way from the bottom to the top. I'm going to grab this sunflower here too. I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to take these little center pieces to my sunflower. And now everything that I'm left with here is for stacking purposes. Like it's all ready to be glued down. It's all stacking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to add glue now to the back of this green one and then add it to the brown. When you are stacking yours in order here, you do just kind of want to take your time with it and just kind of look at the order. If you want to, you can go back to the file and just look at the order from the brown to the front, or the smallest, or so it would be from the bottom of your in your design space, it would be the bottom layer that's all the way down at the end, and then kind of work your way to the top. So that way you make sure you've got the order correct here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to speed up the video after I do this one. And because it's all just going to be kind of gluing everything down. Okay, so before I go ahead and I do that though, I want to just talk to you about gluing this down. All I'm going to do is kind of go right around here at all of the edges and just kind of making sure that I'm getting inside all of the edges parts here of the flowers and the design. And then I'm going to get a little bit here in the center. The reason why you want to do that is just to make sure that nowhere is it going to end up chipping or kind of coming up a little bit. And so when I go to glue it down, I'm going to hold it between my two fingers, and I'm going to use my fingers as kind of like my ruler and my guide to get everything lined up in that right position. And you'll see, like, as you go to layer it down, it just makes it so easy when you're using your fingers like that, as kind of like your guide and your ruler. And once you have everything, you can just press it down to make sure that everything's just kind of lining up there. And there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the video now for this part. And then when we get to the front there. We'll slow it back down and I'll talk my way through some of it. Okay, so once you get all of that glued down, then we're ready to kind of really put our flowers on. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna go ahead and add a dot here and right here, and this will be the center of my sunflower for these. So I'm just going to use my push pin, as you can see, to pick those up. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring these sunflowers down a little bit more. I'm gonna push these off here, and I'm going to now glue these down as well. And so when you're gluing these down, as you can see, I'm going a little bit faster because I probably could have done this part before turning off the sped up part of the video, but I didn't. So I'm just going to kind of do this a little bit quickly and just press it down here. You do just kind of want to take your time, especially like with the darker green pieces where you'll find a lot more of the cuts. The cuts are there to kind of give the flower or the leaves those dimensions and those fine details that make it show that it really is a leaf and it's not just, you know, paper on top of paper, because we want a little bit of character and fun to our designs here. So I'm going to push off these sunflowers again as well. I'm going to do this part that is behind the sunflower, because when we have sunflowers, they've got many different kind of layers there, and so we're going to give it this appearance as well. So as you can see, I'm just adding the glue here to these parts, and I'm going to press this down. I'm going to line this up right here, and what I really want to do is make sure that I'm lining it up correctly here. Okay, because we'll see a little bit of the green popping through. And there we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to roll our sunflowers. Now for this one, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to add the center, because we're going to start with the small one here. I'm going to press this one right in the center. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of use my glue stick here to just kind of bend my paper a little bit. And so you can see I'm just kind of rolling my glue stick right on the paper here. And this one's a little bit harder to see because it's kind of small. What you can also do is just kind of place it in the center of your hand and just kind of fold it in like that. Okay, and that will bend it a little bit more. Then you can add a little bit of glue to the back and then just place it down. And when you place it down, you do kind of want to line it up in such a way that it's a little off center from the orange part of the flower behind it. All right, so this one went on this side here. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a little bit of glue here in the center. Press the center down, and then you can use the glue stick to kind of curve the petals here of the flower. And if you want to just be a little bit faster and a little bit more drastic, you can take it, place it in your hand, and just kind of curve it on itself here. Okay, and you don't want to curve it too much or bend it too much so that it looks off completely, but that's usually enough to do the trick there. And then again, you just kind of want to line it up right there. I'm going to do this one here that's going to go into the back. And so one more time, adding a little bit of glue here in the center, placing down that center part of the sunflower. I'm going to do this one right in my hand so that you guys can see. And I just licked my glue. And so all I'm doing is kind of like, kind of curving my hand here. And I think I made my center there a little bit off, but it's okay. I'm going to add a little bit of glue now to the back as well. And then I'm going to press that down right about there. I'm going to do this same, let's do the big one first. I probably should have started with this one. All right. Again, just adding glue in the center for the centerpiece of the flower. And then I'm going to press my hand there, and I'm just going for speed because I don't want the video to be crazy long for you guys. And tipped my glue again. And then we're going to press it down. And there we go. And then we're going to do the last one. And pressing this down there in the center as well. And then one more time, we're going to just bend right here. Okay. And then adding our glue to the back. Now, if you want, you can go and take another extra step. And what you can do is add a little bit more details to your flower. And you can just take a little black Sharpie like this and just add some dots kind of like all over here in the center to show the center of the flower. Okay. This is optional though, like you don't have to do it. It should be random as well though if you do. You don't have to make it like perfect or anything. And then I got quiet there. And then once you have it done, you will have finished this cute little craft here for fall. So I hope you guys really enjoyed watching this video. I would love to see yours. Be sure to send me a picture so I can see. And I hope that you enjoy crafting it, okay? So once again, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope that you had fun crafting. All right, thanks for watching.